Chapter 10. Penny wakes up every morning asking for her Doodle, a soft, brown stuffed animal that might be a monkey, maybe a squirrel. It's so beat up, nobody knows really where it came from, and she drags it around everywhere. Doodle, she cries if it's been caught in her blankets. Doodle, she cries if it's right next to her. Of course, it sounds more like doo-doo when she says it, and that makes Dad crack up. I smile when I hear footsteps outside my door. Big ones and little tiny ones. Mom and Penny, and Doodle, of course. Sometimes my legs and arms are stiff from being in the same position all night, and sometimes my toes tingle. My bedroom door opens. Dad never gets around to fixing that squeak. Mom traces a finger along my cheek. Maybe she's checking to see if I'm still breathing. I am. I open my eyes. I wish I could say, "Good morning," but I just grin instead. She pulls me up and hugs me, rarely stopping to sit in the rocking chair anymore, and rushes me to the bathroom because I usually have to go really bad first thing in the morning. Penny trails behind us wearing a huge red and white hat like the one in Cat in the Hat. The girl has a major hat obsession. And always with her Doodle. Butterscotch is never far from her. She lets Penny put hats on her and somehow endures Penny's hugs, which can sometimes feel more like chokeholds. I've gotten a few. She barks to alert Mom or Dad if Penny gets too close to an electric plug or the front door. Our bathroom is painted ocean blue and is large enough for Penny, Butterscotch, me, and Mom, and my chair without feeling crowded. That's a good thing, because we spend lots of time in there. Penny and I make a pretty big mess, but at least I don't have to wear diapers. It's bad enough that someone has to put me in the toilet, but diapers? Ugh. Even though the doctor said it wouldn't be impossible, by the time I was 3, Mom had potty trained like me like any other kid my age. I hated sitting in dirty diapers, and she hated changing them, so I figured out a way to let her know I needed to go, and she'd hustle me to the toilet. Mom and I can sometimes talk without words. I point to the ceiling, and somehow she just knows whether I'm talking about the ceiling fan, the moon, the dark spot where the rain leaked through during the last thunderstorm. She can tell if I'm sad, she can make sense when I need a hug. She rubs my backs and makes me relax when I'm tense and upset. She tells dirty jokes sometimes when Dad isn't listening and we both crack up. One morning, while she was getting me dressed for school, I pointed to her stomach and then covered my eyes as if the sight was too much to look at. It was shortly after Penny had been born, and she still had a good-sized baby bulge. "You calling me fat?" she asked, acting insulted. I laughed a little and said, which is the closest thing I can say to yes. "Take it back," she said, tickling the bottom of my feet. Instead, I held my arms out like I was making a big circle and laughed out loud. Huge, enormous, like an elephant. I could tell she knew what I was thinking. We both rolled with laughter, and then she hugged me tight. I wish I could tell her I loved her. Mom knows when I'm hungry or thirsty, and whether I need a glass of milk or just some water. She can tell if I'm really sick or just faking it, because sometimes I do pretend I don't feel good just so I can stay home. She can tell me what my temperature is just by feeling my forehead. She only uses the thermometer to prove when she's right. I can tell stuff about what she's thinking, too. By the end of the day, after she's been at the hospital all day, then fixed dinner, then bathed Penny and me, and put me in bed, I can tell she's kind of reached her max. She breathes hard, her forehead sweating, and sometimes I reach out and touch her hand with mine. I can feel her calm down, and she'll trace her fingers along my cheek, just like she does in the morning, and give me a kiss goodnight. Every Saturday morning after I've been fed, Mom reads the newspaper while she has her coffee, and Penny smashes bananas on her high chair tray. Butterscotch doesn't like fruit, but she stays close just in case somebody drops a piece of bacon. Mom's off on the weekends, so she relaxes. She sometimes reads articles to me or tells me about the latest hurricane or upsetting or world uprising or explosion in the world. "More fighting in the Middle East," she says. I've seen it on TV. Bombs and tears and faces of fear. "There's a new Superman movie coming out soon," she reads as she shakes the newspaper flat. "Maybe we can go to a matinee." I love superheroes. I guess Superman has to be my favorite because he can fly. How great would that be? Mom reads me the comic book pages also. I like Garfield. "Garfield's cheating on his diet again," Mom says. "He ate John's lasagna and Odie's meatballs." I laugh and point at Mom's hips. "Are you calling me fat again, Miss Dee Dee? Just because I finished off your spaghetti last night?" I grin. "You'll be sorry when I start feeding everybody lettuce for lunch." We both laugh. Mom's not even close to being fat, but I like to tease her. For my 10th birthday, I got a whole book of Garfield cartoons. Now that's what's up. I made Dad read it to me over and over. Garfield is a cat who has a lot to say, But all of his words are written in little circles above his head because he can't really talk, since he's, well, a cat. Sometimes that's how I feel. Like, wouldn't it be cool if I had somebody write the words over my head so people would know what I'm thinking? I could live with that. Large floating bubbles above me speaking for me. Wouldn't it be cool if somebody could invent a bubble talking machine before 5th grade starts in a couple of weeks? When I try to talk, the words are exploding in my brain, but all that comes out are meaningless sounds and squeaks. Penny can say lots of words and pieces of words, but my lips won't come together to make even simple sounds like that. And most of my noises are vowels. I can say and ah pretty clearly, and if I concentrate, sometimes I can squeeze out a b or a h, but that's about it. My parents can usually figure out what I need just by listening carefully. To outsiders, I probably sound like one of those children who was raised by wolves. My communication board, even with everything Mrs. V has added to it, well, it sort of sucks. For example, one afternoon earlier this year, I had a taste for a Big Mac and a shake. Vanilla. Oh, I love fast food. Mom wasn't home, and getting my father to figure out what I was trying to say is sometimes a big job. I pointed to the picture of my dad, the word go, the word eat, and a happy face. That's all I had to work with. I gotta give him credit, he tried. He asked me a million questions so I could point to yes or no. Are you hungry? Yes. Okay, I'll fix you some tuna salad. No, I pounded the tray. I thought you said you were hungry. Do you want some spaghetti? No, gentler this time. So, what do you want? No answer. There's nothing on my board to describe it, so I pointed to go again. You want me to go to the kitchen and cook you something? No. You want me to go to the grocery store? No. I was starting to get upset, pounding the board with my right thumb once more. I don't get it. You said you wanted me to go get you something to eat. Yes. Once again, I pointed to Dad's picture. Then go. Then eat. Then smiley face. I could feel one of my tornado explosions starting. I started to kick. My arms got all tight. It was driving me crazy that I couldn't tell him that I wanted a stupid Big Mac from McDonald's. Calm down, sweetheart, Dad said softly. My jaws felt like steel bars. I knew I was breathing hard, and my tongue wouldn't stay in my mouth. I hit on my board once more, aiming to no word in particular. Ah! I squeaked. I'm sorry, Melody, but I can't figure out what you mean. I'm going to fix you some noodles with cheese. Is that going to be okay? I sighed, gave up, and pointed to yes. I calmed down while he cooked. The noodles were pretty good. A couple of weeks later, my dad and I were in the car and passed a McDonald's. I screeched and kicked and pointed like Godzilla was coming down from the street. Dad must have thought I was nuts. Finally, he would say, "Would you like to stop and get a Big Mac and a shake for dinner tonight as a treat?" I shouted, as loud as I could, and I kept kicking with absolute delight as he pulled into the drive-thru. He never did make the connection between that fast food stop and my request a couple of weeks earlier, but that's okay. Even though it took us an hour to finish, it was one of the best hamburgers I ever had. All right, go answer your comprehension question.